jobs in this country for hundreds and millions of people that are striving to lead a better life. It's a matter of life and death. And even though it's a matter of life and death, and even though all the time we are doing the politics of jobs, हमारी राजनीति transfer posting और नौकरी की राजनीति है, even though we all understand it, even though we all know about it, it's a little bit like the weather. We talk about it endlessly, but there's nothing we can do about it. The weather is the weather. This is a dilemma we have to live with. We are not able to solve it very well. So jobs, livelihoods, this is at the core of what we have to deliver as a government, what we have to deliver as a society, what we have to deliver as a country. And frankly, we don't have good answers. We don't have good answers. It's a really, really big problem. And it's a problem on multiple dimensions. I'll just sketch out three major aspects of it and then talk a little bit about how we can try and solve it, and then we can start open up the discussion. There are three major problems, I think, why it's so difficult to solve. One you know a lot about, so I'm not going to talk about it. But that is that in the formal sector, by and large, the incessant need for productivity, more efficiency, more competitiveness means we are constantly substituting labor for capital. So the formal sector where we want good jobs, where we need good jobs, it's actually difficult to do job creation. And we have a jobs crisis everywhere in the world today. Those are the external factors, the automation, the artificial intelligence, the need for productivity, the skills that are required. All of those mean that getting those kinds of jobs where you're going to be employed and you have a great life is really difficult. So those are the external forces that make good high quality jobs, which is what people want. They want good high quality jobs where they feel secure, they feel they can pay for their kids' education, they can pay for their retirement, they can buy a house. Those jobs are few and far between, and they're getting fewer, and they're getting more skilled, and they're becoming increasingly more out of reach. So people are desperate, maybe we can get in. You see, suppose we go talk to a politician, if he can help us get into these government jobs, that's one way of finding salvation. But in the formal sector, to get a good high quality job is looking like it's not going to happen. And sadly, the IT sector, which Ravi and I know a lot about, which was a real escalator, a ladder for success for lots and lots of people, is going through its own convulsions, and where it appears that we are going to lose jobs as well. And if you think about middle class life, the dream of every Indian parent was, my kid will get a job at Infosys, right? Right out of engineering college, he'll make a lot of money, he'll go to America where he'll save some more money, etc., etc., etc. That whole phenomena, Ganesh knows about it well, that whole phenomena looks like it's stopped, that escalator has stalled. Where are those jobs? And for every IT job, good IT job, we were able to create 3 additional jobs. But the formal sector looks like it's stalling. And this is not just an India issue, it's a global issue. Huge problem for us. Second major problem. We have a huge demographic bulge. And it's very difficult to be able to find systemic solutions for that. We know that for a period of 20 years, we had 25 million, for a period of 25 years, we had 20 million children a year. 500 million people, 50 crore people in this massive demographic bulge, this pig in the python that's going through our demographics right now. Now, were our systems, did we plan ahead? Did we think about these 500 million people, a tidal wave of humanity coming our way? Did we equip our education system, our skills training, our vocational training to be ready for it? Absolutely not. And sadly, friends, we are halfway through that already. Half of those kids are 22 and over. We've lost them, I think. I worry we've lost them. Because we all know about how people are trained and how people are educated and how their minds are wired up, and when they're wired up, motivation, life skills, empathy, ability to learn, continuous learning, all the things that we know well. You have to develop that capacity physiologically, neurologically at a certain level. If they suffer malnutrition at an early age, they never have the cognitive capacity to get there and become lifelong learners and be able to get these good jobs. What do we do? And if these people, half of them are already 22, and my goodness, how are we going to train them now? Lots of them are 10, 12, 13 years old. They've already gone through that early childhood physiological development where it's very hard to catch up. All the research in the world tells us that. So we have this demographic bulge. We weren't prepared for it. Much of it has already happened, and there is a huge backlog on top of that. So part of it that people don't understand about the numbers, and I try and explain to them, is that yes, we have 10 to 12 million people every year looking for a good government job, and there aren't any of those. They're looking for a formal sector job. There aren't any of those. Formal sector jobs are few 100,000 a year. A few lakhs when we've got, a crore people looking for jobs. So we can't absorb them. Now, that problem has been going on for 10 years already. So we have 100 million people as a backlog. We have a backlog of 100 million people that we also have to absorb. And let me tell you, when I go out and I speak to people, they tell me, they say, look, I sent my son to Hyderabad. I sent my son to Bangalore. I sent my son to Manipal. I spent 10, 20, 50 lakhs on his education. And he's sitting at home, he has nothing to do. Can you help him get a job? What do I tell that parent? I have no answers for him. But those people have not got jobs. Their parents have sold their land, they've sold their assets to be able to educate their child because they thought that IT job would be there. Somebody told them that if you go to Bangalore, there's a good chance that they'll get an IT job, that Ganesh will give them an IT job. So on that dream, they sent their kid there, they spent their life savings, and now the guy can't find a job. Maybe he was not able to get employable in the first instance. But who told parents that? Nobody did. They chased the dream, and now their kid's staying at home. That's a huge social burden we are already carrying, that backlog of 100 million people or more. And plus there are 10 million coming every year. So it's a very serious issue demographically. Point 2, demographically. Point 3, we don't have the systems to really enable this backlog of people and these 10 million people a year that are at scale and will essentially be able to enable these people to be employable. We don't have the systems. And as being a systems person, being an engineer by training, I know how long it takes to scale up systems. So even if we started today and we all went at it with a national mission, which we are doing, we just can't reach the scale necessary to be able to deal with these many people. That's institutions, the systems, the trainer. Who are the trainers? Do we have enough of those? So I just don't see a way in which we can even scale up the system sufficiently so that we can get enough of these people employed and meet their aspirations and expectations. This is the dilemma we confront right now. 3 very intractable factors that make creation of jobs and livelihoods so difficult. And as I think you all have spent a lot of time thinking today, it is at some level to try and solve this very, very difficult problem, which is not just an Indian problem, it's a problem in the Middle East, it's a problem in the US and elsewhere. You really need collective action. And you need people to work together and achieve positive sum non-zero outcomes. And for us as a society, we've really not been very good at collective action, working across silos, solving these kinds of difficult societal problems, and finding enduring systemic solutions for that. So we are really confronting a very, very difficult task. And that's why I think the initiative that you have taken by bringing together people like this to really take this on, think about how we can solve these problems. Obviously, we can't solve it at a cosmic level. We have to find those patches and work those patches and see whether we can scale them up. And that really, hopefully, is what you've been engaged in. It's terrific what you all are doing. It's a very, very difficult task. As a government, we are here to support you, facilitate what you all are doing, to enable you to scale it up, to see if there are good ideas that you have that we can adopt and quickly make national level as soon as possible. We have many attempts underway, many experiments underway. Nothing has quite caught fire yet. We've been playing around. I've been working with, in fact, Rajiv Pratap Rudy ji on really strengthening the national apprenticeship program that he has and trying to use it for the aviation sector where we are seeing great growth. And we have a need for a lot of skilled and capable employees. So there are experiments underway. But we are really looking to you all as innovators, as social entrepreneurs, as thinkers, as people who want to experiment and people who want to get their hands dirty to come up with ways in which we can get at these problems and really try and solve this very, very substantial, very, very difficult set of issues that we are confronting right now. Now, I'll end by saying that I have a very big complaint. I'm not happy at all. I'm very dissatisfied. And the reason is, I think, that you have set your aspirations far too low. If you have this saying, building the ecosystem to create 1 million livelihoods, I just don't think that's good enough. Because of the scale of the problem that we confront, you all, ladies and gentlemen, not 1 million livelihoods. We need you guys to come up with 100 million livelihoods. You got to think of a way to do that. You got to experiment. You got to innovate. We are here to support you. Thank you. Happy to take any questions.